Hello, my yarny friends. I'm Sara Sach, and welcome back to my crochet channel. Now, today's video is step 3 on our summer solstice poncho that we've been working on. Step 1, we did the squares. Step 2, we put them all together and sewed them into this shape to make our poncho. And today, for step number 3, we're going to work on the neckline or the opening of our poncho. It's a really simple process. Now, if you would like to have step 1 and step 2, I'll put both of those links down in the notes underneath this video. So you'll have both those steps as well as the blog link that will give you all the information about sizing and yarn and all of that, which you can get also from the video of step number 1. All right. So this is step number 3, and we're going to be dealing with the neckline. And again, I just want to tell you, you can get the complete written pattern with lots of pictures on the blog, and I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. And step 1 and step 2 video links are also in that description box as well. All right, let's get started on the neckline. So we're going to be working on the front side of our poncho. I know on video number 2, when we joined all the squares, we worked on the back side, so the seams would be on the inside. But for for video number 3 and number 4, we're going to be working on the front side. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to the corner of our shoulder. This is the shoulder portion, and we're going to join our yarn right in there. And I'm just using the blue just because I'm using these 3 colors. It's up to you what your color choices are. So what we're going to do is we're going to stitch a single crochet and work down and around to the other shoulder and then all the way around the back and then back up here. All right. We're stitching single crochets, so we'll go right in that first stitch and stitch a single crochet. We're still using our eye hook, 5.5 millimeter, just like we've been doing. So we're going to stitch a row of single crochets all the way around. And I'll show you when I get down to this first point how we deal with that going around that point. All right. So again, I'm working single crochets, working down to that first point. I've stitched single crochet in each of my triples working across, and this brings us to the center here. And what you're going to do is you're going to single crochet in that chain 2 space on this side and then single crochet in the chain 2 space on this side, and that's going to bring those in nice and close, and then we'll just go right back to stitching 1 single crochet in each of those stitches working up to that other shoulder. All right, and don't worry if it pulls a little because we're going to be doing 3 rows of single crochet on the neck portion of our poncho. I'm actually going to do 1 in each color that I'm using, but of course you can do yours in whatever colors that you chose to do your poncho in. And this looks beautiful all in one color, and I think that would look really nice in an off-white or maybe a bright shiny lemon yellow. All right, so I'm going to continue working up to my shoulder on this side. So here's where our first point was. I stitched from the shoulder to that point, and then we single crocheted up till we reached the next shoulder. Okay, and so now we have 2 more single crochets to stitch in those chain 2 spaces. So we'll stitch a single crochet in each of those, and then we'll just go right to that next triple stitch and stitch a single crochet in each of those triple stitches. And then we'll work our way, let me flip this around here. We'll work our way from this shoulder all the way down to this next point, and then back up and join up here where we joined our yarn in to begin with. All right, so here I go, stitching single crochets to the back point. And see where I've stitched around here? Here's my shoulder. There's that front point, and now I'm on the back at the back point. And so again, I'm going to single crochet in those two, chain two spaces. Whoops. There we go. And then we'll single crochet in each of the single crochets on this last portion, and we'll end back up at that shoulder where we started. Just stitching single crochets back up to the shoulder where I started. So I've stitched my single crochet all the way around the neck of my poncho. I chained a single crochet in that chain two space, and now I'm just going to come over here to that first single crochet and join. I'm going to go ahead and chain one, and we will have one to weave in here, but I'm going to change colors. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this, but before I add my color in, I'm going to pull that out just a little so it doesn't come out. I want you to see how this looks, okay? Let me pull out the camera so you can get a really good look at that. So we joined up here in that first chain two space and single crochet down. We stitched a single crochet in the two chain two spaces and then single crocheted back up. We stitched a single crochet in those chain two spaces up here as well. Stitched to the corner or the point. One single crochet in those two chain two spaces, and then back up and join to our first single crochet. All right, so that's the first portion of our neck. Now what we're going to do, now I'm changing colors. I'm going to grab some of this yellow because I want to put a row of yellow on mine. I'm going to take that little chain one out because I'm changing colors. If you're not changing colors, you can leave that chain one in there. All right, so now I've got my yellow in there. And for this second row, all we're going to do is stitch a single crochet in each of the single crochets around. Now, on this particular portion, I do think it's a good idea to tighten up your gauge or tension just a little bit on this trim. All right, because we want it to help hold the shape of the poncho. So if you're having a little trouble tightening up your tension, you might go down to a hook size of a 5mm, which is an H hook. But I'm just pulling a little more on that pinky so that it kind of tightens up that tension just a little bit. All right, and so what we're going to do is we're going to stitch 2 more rows of single crochets. I'm going to do one in yellow and then one in green because we want 3 rows of single crochets on the top of our poncho. And this is just going to help the neckline hold its shape. And so all we're doing is stitching 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets, working all the way around the neck of our poncho. So now I have stitched that second row of single crochet, and I really love the way that's looking. And so I'm going to do my last row in the green. So I've used all 3 of my colors. All right, and I did a little join and a chain 1. So since I'm changing colors, I am going to take that little chain 1 out and just join my green in. And I will have a few ends to weave in, but it's worth it to me on this particular portion to get all 3 colors in. Alrighty, so now for the third row, again, we're just going to single crochet in each of those single crochets around. All right. And again, I'd like you to tighten up your tension a little bit on this one, on these 3 rows, just so you get a nice even row, 3 rows of single crochet. But also, this is going to help the top of your poncho hold its shape better when you're wearing it. We've stitched it really loose because that's what we want, because it's a summer poncho. But we want this particular portion at the neck to be stitched just a little bit snugger. I don't know if that's actually a word. A little bit tighter on our tension so that it helps the poncho at the top hold its shape. And I really love how those 3 colors are stitching up together there. All right, so I'm just gonna again work all the way around the neckline of my poncho, stitching a single crochet in each of those single crochets, working all the way around. I have now stitched that 3rd row, and I really love it. I like that there's all 3 colors in there, and I think it looks really nice. I joined to my first single crochet. I'm going to cut my yarn. And again, I'm going to pull that loop to the inside and tie that off. Now, like I said, because I changed colors, I do have a little bit of weaving in to do here, but that will just take me a couple of minutes. So I'll just stick it inside and do that in a few minutes. But you can see how that thickened up that band so that it's nice and sturdy when you wear it. All right, and so that's all that part 3 was making that band for the top of our poncho so it's nice and secure. Isn't that nice? All right, now the last portion we have to do is the bottom of our poncho, the bottom edge, and we're going to do that on tomorrow's video. Step number 4, we'll be doing the bottom, which I call the hem or the bottom, and then we'll be all done with our poncho and ready for some embellishments that you might want. All right, so again, you can find step 1 and 2 videos as well as the written pattern with all the pictures in that description box underneath this video, and be ready for step number 4 tomorrow.